The nameless entities stand as some of the most enigmatic cryptids within Tolkien's legendarium. These timeless creatures relentlessly gnaw at the very foundations of the mountains, considering themselves among the rare beings that predate time itself. Within the realms of shadow and stone, numerous mysteries persist. So what exactly are these beings, and where did they originate? Ever he clutched me, and ever I hewed him, till at last he fled into dark tunnels. They were not made by Durin's folk, Gimli, son of Gloin. Far, far below the deepest delvings of the dwarves, the world is gnawed by nameless things. Even Sauron knows them not. They are older than he. Now I have walked there, but I will bring no report to darken the light of day. This passage indicates that the nameless entities are older than Sauron. To determine their true nature, we must journey back to an era before time and look through the mists of antiquity. Before assuming physical form in the world, Sauron existed as one of the Ina. These divine beings, created by Eru-Ilúvatar, the supreme deity of Tolkien's cosmos, entered the world known as Arda to participate in its creation. Among these beings, the most powerful, such as Melkor, were recognized as the Valar, while those of lesser power, like Sauron, were known as Maiar. There was Eru, the One, who in Arda is called Ilúvatar, and he first created the Ainur, the Holy Ones, which were the offspring of his thought, and they existed with him before anything else was made. As mentioned in this excerpt, it appears impossible for the nameless entities to precede the Ainur, since they were the first beings brought into existence by Eru. Therefore, Gandalf's statement must imply that the nameless entities are older than Sauron, in the sense that they have existed longer within Arda. Consequently, these ancient beings might have been created by Melkor in the earliest days of Arda. While it is debated that evil lacks the creative ability and can only corrupt, Melkor's unique endowment with a portion of the gifts of all the other Valar presents a compelling counter-argument. Melkor among the Ainur was granted the greatest gifts of power and knowledge, sharing in all the blessings of his brethren. Indeed, Melkor's inheritance of the blessings bestowed upon his peers, such as Yavanna's creation of the Kelvar and the Olvar, the plants and creatures that inhabit Arda, holds significant weight. This theory is further supported by another passage from the Valaquenta asterisk. In the powers and knowledge of all the other Valar he had part, but he turned them to evil purposes. While Melkor lacked the divine authority to create beings akin to the children of Ilúvatar, it is plausible that he fashioned certain malevolent creatures that haunt the shadowed regions of Middle-earth. However, an intriguing passage from the asterisk lay of the children of Húrin might challenge this theory. In Nandungorten, where nameless gods have shrouded shrines in shadow secret, more old than Morgoth, or the ancient lords, the golden gods of the guarded west, but the ghostly dwellers of that grey valley, hindered nor hurt them. Could the entities referred to as nameless gods in this context be synonymous with the shadowy beings lurking beneath the mountains? Such a connection presents an enticing possibility, suggesting that these entities predate both Melkor and the Valar's arrival in Arda. One plausible resolution to this conundrum posits that the nameless entities were created by Eru himself. The Ainulindale informs us that there are elements in the world that the Ainur had not conceived, implying that Eru must have introduced aspects of his own thought into Arda beyond his children. And so it was that as this vision of the world was played before them, the Ainur saw that it contained things which they had not thought. While this quote clearly refers to the children of Ilúvatar, could it also subtly suggest that there are nameless entities lurking in the shadows of creation? A significant question regarding this theory is simply why? Why would Iri introduce these dark terrors? Although it may seem contradictory for Eru to incorporate wicked beings into his creation, his inscrutable plans encompass a role for shadowy entities. A revelation unveiled to Melkor during the Celestial Symphony of the Ainur, veiled to Melkor during the Celestial Symphony of the Ainur, and thou, Melkor, shalt see that no theme may be played that hath not its uttermost source in me, nor can any alter the music in my spite. For he that attempteth this shall prove but mine instrument in the devising of things more wonderful, which he himself hath not imagined. Melkor envisioned a world marred by scorching infernos and icy tempests. Yet, in a moment of divine revelation, Ari, conversing with Ulmo, the Lord of Waters, unveils the sublime orchestration of these discordant themes within his design. He hath bethought him of bitter cold immoderate, and yet hath not destroyed the beauty of thy fountains, nor of thy clear pools. Behold the snow and the cunning work of frost. Melkor hath devised heats and fire without restraint, and hath not dried up thy desire, nor utterly quelled the music of the sea. Behold rather the height and glory of the clouds, and the ever-changing mists, and listen to the fall of rain upon the earth. Melkor is inadvertently fulfilling Eru's will in ways beyond his understanding. Similarly, the nameless entities might act as unintended agents of Eru's plan, their actions driven by motives beyond comprehension. Another, less probable origin is that the nameless entities existed alongside Aru in the void before the creation of the Ainur. In this narrative, these mysterious spirits roamed the boundless expanse until they witnessed Ea, at which point they descended into Middle-earth, assuming physical form and making it their abode. Each of these theories holds validity, making it impossible to definitively identify their origins. I believe Tolkien intentionally left the origins of the nameless entities unexplained as a deliberate and necessary omission. Within the human psyche, the unknown provokes primal fears, driving us to seek understanding. Tolkien skillfully leverages this instinct by enveloping the nameless entities in an aura of captivating mystery. All we can assert with certainty about their origins is that they are primordials, existing before time was measured by the children of Ilúvatar. Tolkien allows the nameless entities to evade detailed description, enabling the imagination to wander amidst the shadows of the unseen. However, some theorize a connection between the Watcher in the water and the nameless entities. This association would grant us a more vivid depiction. Out from the water, a long, sinuous tentacle had crawled. It was pale green and luminous and wet. Its fingered end had hold of Frodo's foot and was dragging him into the water. The dark water boiled, and there was a hideous stench. Yet, while Gandalf recounts his battle with the Balrog to Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli, he mentions the nameless entities. All these characters were present when the Watcher attacked Frodo. If the nameless entities were similar to the Watcher in the water, wouldn't Gandalf have made that connection? Instead, he states that he would not speak of them, implying they are far more dreadful beings than the Watcher. That said, Gandalf's conversation with Frodo about the Watcher's identity does lend some support to the theory. What was the thing, or were there many of them? I do not know, answered Gandalf, but the arms were all guided by one purpose. Something has crept or has been driven out of dark waters under the mountains. There are older and more vile beings than orcs in the world's deepest places. Additionally, We can gain insight into their appearance by examining passages from the Hobbit asterisk, which allude to deep tunnels beneath towering mountains. These passages, echoing Gandalf's vivid memories, suggest a shared history, inviting us to link the two narratives. Some of these caves, too, go back in their beginnings to ages before the goblins, who only widened them and connected them with passages, and the original inhabitants are still there in secluded corners, slinking and nosing about. Within the same passage in the Hobbit asterisk, we find our first and only explicit description of a physical trait that the nameless entities might possess. There are strange things living in the pools and lakes in the hearts of mountains, fish whose fathers swam in, goodness only knows how many years ago, and never swam out again, while their eyes grew bigger and bigger and bigger from trying to see in the blackness. Also, there are other things more slimy than fish. Here, they are depicted as being more slimy than fish. Additionally, in the previous passage, they are described as slinking. Therefore, let us attempt to assemble an image of the nameless entities based on the information gathered. Gandalf speculates that the Watcher might belong to the order of nameless entities, having been expelled from the deep places beneath the mountain. Consequently, visions of tentacled appendages, sinuous and luminous in pale green, emerge. Gandalf also portrays them as gnawing horrors, with jaws capable of tearing through soil and stone alike. Their ability to carve tunnels suitable for fleeing Balrogs suggests their immense size. I will reserve the description of Balrog's height for another video, but most believe them to be larger than humans or elves, possibly even twice their size. Creatures that excavate and consume beneath the surface could resemble worms. There is precedent for mysterious dark spirits taking the giant form of smaller creatures, as was the case with the colossal spider Ungoliant. Thus, the imagination conjures images of a massive worm, its tentacles glowing with an eerie luminescence, oozing and slithering through their subterranean realm. A maw of nightmares filled with rows of serrated teeth completes the visage of these terrifying entities, making them as awe-inspiring as they are fearsome. This was the point where I initially intended to conclude the video, yet during the script writing, a different theory emerged. It is an idea so strikingly evident that its absence amidst the multitude of theories is perplexing. My theory proposes that the nameless entities might consist of a multitude of creatures, a symphony of life in all its vibrant forms and colors. I suggest that the deep places are teeming with an entire ecosystem of otherworldly beasts and beings, coexisting within a dark world too harsh and dreadful to fathom. In this abyssal environment, some of the nameless entities slink and hide. Some swim in the dark waters, some slither through slime, some gnaw at rock with formidable teeth, some ascend to the surface where they are venerated as gods, some grasp with flailing tentacles, and there may be many more, born of mystery, older than time, and too terrifying to mention. These are the nameless entities. As our exploration through the enchanted realms of Middle-earth draws to a close, I would like to take this moment to ignite the beacons and call for assistance. So, if you have enjoyed today's video, please remember that every like, share, and subscription serves as a beacon of support, enabling me to dedicate more time to creating additional videos like this one. Don't forget to join the conversation by sharing your thoughts and theories in the comments below. I always appreciate hearing your insights and perspectives. Thank you for tuning in. Farewell, fellow travelers.